everyone, welcome back to the Stitches and Scribbles channel. My name is Erin and I've got a crochet vlog for you today. So today I am going to be making a pattern for a friend. So this friend went with me to the Chicago Yarn Convention in spring of 2025, and while we were there she bought yarn for me to celebrate my birthday, which had then been passed by a month or two. But I told her while we were there that I wanted her to pick out a skein of yarn so that I could make her something for her birthday. So this is that birthday project. So if you are that friend, stop watching now. I know you've already seen the yarn, but if you want the pattern to be a surprise, leave it that way. Although this should come out after your birthday, but I don't know if I'll see you around your birthday. So anyway, stop watching this video if you're that person. But the yarn that she chose was from Black Cat Fibers. And this colorway is called Goodnight Moon. It's deep navies, golds, black, a little bit of like a cream and a gray. We went to a school that had blue and gold as its colors, and we said that this was just like the goth version of our school colors, which she really liked, and thought that that was really funny, which is why we ended up picking out this yarn together. But for her project, I wanted to do something that would be multi-use. I wanted something that she could get a lot of wear out of. So I decided to make the Isabel's Crescent Shawlette by Lorinda Reddig. And this shawlette is a filet crochet pattern that makes the phases of the moon in it. But what I really liked about the pattern is that the pattern designer showed that you can wear it as a scarf, you can wear it over your shoulders as a little shawl, you can wear it tied in different ways. But this friend that I'm making this for goes to the Renaissance Fair a lot with me, and I thought she could also use it as part of her Ren Fair costume if she so desired, since she usually does a lot of all black for the Renaissance Fair, but also some blue tones. So I'm going to jump right into this pattern. It is a filet crochet pattern. I used to do a lot of filet crochet back when I was in high school. I would make like little bookmarks and like tiny things out of crochet thread, but it's been quite a long time since I have made anything with filet crochet, so I'm excited to jump back in with that today. I also have my hook ready. I'm going to go ahead and wind this yarn up and then dive into the pattern. I just finished the kind of setup rows where you can start to see the like filet mesh forming. This is definitely going to test my chart reading abilities. The first like section of the pattern, all of the rows are written out, and then after that you kind of have to just read the charts. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm making like a little tracker sheet on a sticky note of what row sections I need to do, and I also have my little bucket of stitch markers so that I can kind of clip off the sections as I go so that I don't forget where I am. But so far it's really fun to make. I like making the mesh stitches and building up the edges, so I think it's all gonna be okay. I think this just looks harder than it is. But I am following the pattern very, very carefully. Alright, it's been a few hours now, and I am this far. I realize you probably can't see any of the stitches because there's no good way to like hold this up and show it, and my counters are black, so I'm gonna have to like put this over a white tablecloth or something when I'm done. But I'm hoping that you can at least see the like little star motif that I did. I did 2 of them. So I'm about ready to start the first crescent moon. So there's a crescent moon and then a full moon, or like half of the full moon, and then you start the decreases. So I'm hoping that today I can get to the halfway point on this little shawlette, but so far I really like how it's working up. I will say this pattern is definitely testing my like math side of my brain for skills. So the way I have it set up on my computer looks crazy, and I would love to show it to you, but I can't because then I'd be showing the pattern, which makes it really hard to describe. So basically in the pattern, there's a traditional crochet chart for the increases and decreases on one page. Then there's a chart for the filet pattern on a different page. So like where you fill in the little boxes in the filet pattern. So I have both of those at like 25% of my screen. My new computer setup is pretty big. And then I have my like YouTube podcast on the other half of my screen, but then I also have a little chart on a sticky note because you kind of have to match together the filet patterns with the increase and decrease patterns. So I have the rows also written out by number and then matching them to what row of the increase repeat pattern I'm doing so that I can look at the number row I'm on in the filet chart and match it to what row on the increase chart I'm doing. And then I'm marking every 6 rows with a little stitch marker because that's how we're doing things. Also, this is going to look so much better once it's blocked. I'm realizing just because it'll let the stitches relax and even out, although I think I am maintaining fairly good tension. I did use a hook size slightly bigger than what the pattern called for, just because I know that my tension is pretty tight. And it called for a 3.75 millimeter hook. This is a 4 millimeter one because I have one of these like inline hooks that I wanted to use, and I don't have it in a 3.75 millimeter. I do have it in a 4, and those are just easier for me to use, especially when I'm working on something really small. So yeah, all of that to say that I'm hoping before going to bed tonight I can get to the halfway point on the pattern, which there's only 24 more rows. I am increasing, but I think I've spent maybe 3 hours so far, so I'm guessing at most it's another 3 hours. Although the increases aren't as drastic after a certain point. It kind of like, it doesn't come to a point. It kind of like curves in the back, or in the middle, the part that would sit on your back if you're wearing it as a shawl. I've been looking at too many number charts for too long. I did take a break for dinner, so now I'm ready to dive back in. Alright, I made it to the halfway point, and I also realized that my blocking mats are lightly colored, so I can use them to kind of show you what it's looking like so far. I think because I picked a variegated yarn, it is a little bit hard to see, but I think maybe once I actually block it and like kind of not pull, but like let the stitches relax a little bit, it'll be easier to tell what it is. But we have half of the full moon in the middle, we have the crescent moon here, we have one, they called it a star motif in the pattern, but kind of the flowery shape, and another one here, and then our decreases. I did mess up just a little bit, so there's the like regular decrease section, and then there's supposed to be 2 repeats of a less steep increase section, and I only did 1. So I have a little bit of extra negative space at the bottom of my shawl, but that's okay. I did figure out how to reverse it going back the other way so that it won't mess with the symmetry of either side of the shawl. But I'm gonna call it quits for tonight and pick this back up tomorrow. and here is the finished shawlette. I made sure to show it on the blocking boards because I knew it would be hard to see just by holding it up. But you can wear it kind of over your shoulders. This is actually a pretty big piece of fabric for one skein of yarn. So it does fit over the shoulders, and I have fairly wide shoulders as well. But you can also, I think they showed it kind of tied in the front like a shawl, but you can also just wear it like a little scarf, kind of this way, which does obviously hide the moon phase pattern on it, but I think it's a really pretty versatile piece, and I'm hoping that my friend really likes it. That's going to be it for this video. A couple notes about the pattern that I did want to talk about actually before I end the video. Number one, I would definitely say that this is not a beginner-friendly pattern. This pattern kind of requires you to already know a couple techniques, one of which would be chart reading, and the second would be filet crochet and how filet patterns work. And you're going to have to be confident enough with both of those things to look at two different charts at the same time, which is a lot of chart reading. So I would say that if you're looking for something a little bit more advanced and you already have mastered most double crochet stitches and a basic, or not double crochet, most basic crochet stitches, and you've tried a filet pattern or two, then this would be a good pattern for you as well. I also think that this is a pattern that I'm going to kind of keep in the back of my head for any time I do have a specialty yarn, because you get a lot of finished object area for just one skein of yarn. Granted, I did size up a needle, or a hook size, so that could be part of it. But even if I hadn't done that, I think it would still be a fairly large piece based on how it looks in the photos. But I think that this is a really great fit for any kind of specialty yarn, whether like it's patterned like this one, which kind of makes the design a little bit more subtle, or a solid color in a really neat fiber. I think would both be really great fits for this. I particularly think, even though I love this wool version, I think that a version made in silk or even in like something held with a mohair would be really pretty as well, although that would make the filet crochet a little bit more challenging. But overall, I really liked this pattern. I think it was well worth what I spent on it to get it, and it was easy enough to follow because I had some of those other crochet skills already. It's not going to teach you how to do filet crochet. It's not really going to teach you how to read crochet charts. I ended up having to do a lot of notes on the side just to kind of match the two parts of the pattern together, but it was a good challenge. Definitely not a good like road trip knitting project, because you would either have to print the pattern out and have it in front of you, or have it like set on multiple windows on your computer like I did, but very worthwhile. I think this is a great Ren Fair piece, a great costume piece. I also think it would be really pretty like draped over your mantle for Halloween if you've got a fireplace mantle. There's just a lot of ways you could use this pattern. Now, I think it's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like what you saw today, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you can be notified of all of my videos right here on YouTube. And if you'd like to follow me on other social media sites, that information will be in the description box. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.